Well, welcome everybody. We are super excited for you guys to join us today and talk all things pregnancy and oils. So this class is, just so you know, is an introductory class into essential oils for pregnancy and pretty much everything that surrounds pregnancy. Just know that this class is intended to be a starting point, and we have an exciting 6-week series coming up with myself. My name is Robyn. And I have Kristen here as well. We'll talk about ourselves here in just a second, but just to let you guys know that as we go through today, you might feel like, oh gosh, I really want more information on that part. And we're gonna be diving deeper starting November 13th. The 6-week series will begin, and we'll be going through each stage of pregnancy, from even becoming pregnant to trying to get pregnant, all the way through when you are trying to take care of your new infant. So we'll start November 13th, and we'll keep you guys aware of that's going on. If you haven't already, you will definitely want to grab a pen and a paper and take some notes and start making your wish list and your must-haves, because we're gonna fly through this content. And just know that this is being recorded, and I know that you will want to come back and hear that, and you will be able to do that. We will keep the lines muted right now, and we'll open it up at the end for questions and answers. And if you have a question along the way, just post your question in the chat area and we will get to that. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, and Kristen will talk more about herself. My name is Robyn Stetzel, and I am a registered nurse. I am a mother of 3. I have a 20-year-old, 13-year-old, and a 12-year-old. I am married to Dr. Paul Stetzel, who is a chiropractor. I was an oncology nurse for most of my nursing career. Bone marrow transplant was my specialty. And I was also a risk manager during that time as well. But I changed my focus to holistic and natural approaches when I started having my second child. So my first, I really wasn't aware or didn't really know that there was really a natural approach, just because my nursing career, I had a C-section for my first, and my nursing career, we were just taught that you needed drugs and surgery in certain situations. So looking at my pregnancies, they were very much different. So my first was a C-section, and all things medical, 100% from the beginning throughout and to the end. My second child was my son. He was 10.5 pounds at birth. I attempted to do this completely natural. I did end up having to do an epidural. So I was kind of half and half, medical and natural. And then by the time my third was born, my daughter, I was completely into everything natural, and I had a completely natural birth, no drugs whatsoever, and I actually did hypnobirthing through that. So I've kind of been through the whole gamut of things. And really, when I started to have some major health issues with my son, or he was experiencing health issues, is really when I dove in even deeper to this natural approach. He actually at 3 years old, he was head to toe eczema. We didn't know what was going on. He had pain all over his body. He was sensitive to lights and sounds. And long story short, he was diagnosed with a potential autoimmune disease. So juvenile rheumatoid arthritis is what they were looking at. So obviously that was really devastating. But the one thing for me is I knew that I didn't want to go down that medical route with medications and chemotherapy, and because I know that course very well. I really focused on trying to get to the underlying cause. And once I did that, you're going to find out exactly what I found out during my research today. But once I did that, we changed everything. We changed our lifestyle. We went chemical free. And again, we're going to teach you everything that I did today. But I never did drugs with him. We never had to go down that route to help him get better. We changed our lifestyle. And after a year of that, he completely lost his diagnoses. So since then, I've dove into just doing everything I can to educate people on how not to end up in the place that I worked at for so long, because we can be proactive. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys to teach you everything that I know. And I'm super excited that Kristen asked me to be here with her as well, because she's the childbirth educator and expert. So Kristen, would you just share a little bit about your background and kind of how you ended up here?
Yes, thank you. Way back when, out of college, I was an elementary teacher and reading specialist. I figured I would do that, through having kids, and I figured the schedule works well with, I'd be on their schedule. And after that, my husband was in chiropractic school. I'm also married to a chiropractor. And when he was in chiropractic school, we were learning all of these things that they just were all new to us. We were learning about nutrition and eliminating toxins. And he came home one day and said, yeah, I think we're going to have a home birth for our children. And at this point, we weren't even engaged. So I was really, really just like taken back by this. And then it kind of planted a seed. So started researching a little bit. And I quickly became really into learning all about all things natural for myself and my husband, and our future kids and our birth plan and all those things. So when we were pregnant with our first, I was trying to make sure I had all of the best products for myself and organic and natural. And, when I was registering, I was going for the name brands that were known to be natural and organic. I know now that a lot of those were not as clean and as pure as they claim to be. But, we don't know until we know. So we will give you guys resources to figure out how clean those products actually are. And even though the products I thought were safe, that I was consuming or I was putting on my body, they were actually still had harmful chemicals. And I grew up in a traditional household. We ate fast food. Unfortunately, both of my parents smoked, so I was exposed to that, all the way through my 20s. We didn't really pursue anything natural. So, standard chemical cleaning products, standard food, mac and cheese, goldfish, all of those things with chemicals were unknowingly building up in my system, and they would later come to surface and affect our lives when I was pregnant and had my first son. So, when we were researching all of our birth options, I knew right away that I wanted to have a home birth because I was the one that didn't want to have to worry about, dealing with any of the battles that often come with the hospital when we want to have an unmedicated birth and things like that. So we found a home birth midwife, and it was great. We still were doing a lot of research on our own, and fast forward through that, on the birth side, we have 3 children, and all 3 of them were born at home. They were all very different births, but they were all born at home, which I'm very thankful for. And with our first, we did not know anything about oils. I actually didn't discover Young Living until he was over 1. And the reason that it came up is because we were seeing a colleague of my husband's for some neurological issues that my son was having. And he had this persistent cough, and it wouldn't go away no matter, all the natural crunchy things we did, nothing was working. So, we were introduced to oils in a chiropractic office, and the cough went away. So I was like, maybe there is something to these little bottles. I figured, we can add these oils to what we already had, like a healthy first aid kit, lavender for burns and things like that. We can help with those things. And it turns out that fast forward, now my children are 7, 4, and 1, and we use oils to support them in more ways than I can imagine. Yes, they are our go-to for, traumas and, little owies and things like that, but we are supporting them on a cellular level, and also, we are supporting their emotions. And I know that I don't have to research, I don't have to spend all this time researching the products that I'm using because Young Living is safe. And now it's more than just a healthy first aid kit. And my husband and I have been working really hard to remove toxins from our lives by, learning what we are going to teach you guys today. So all of the steps that Robyn has taken and all the things that I'm doing in my home. Her children are a little bit older, so I am at the stage where I have little babies. Well, my youngest isn't really crawling anymore, but sometimes licking the floor, and their bare feet are on the floor that I've just cleaned. And I'm very thankful all of the things that we have invested in our health. It's definitely paid off, tenfold. When I tell people about our Young Living journey, yes, we spend a little bit more on the health side, but it has paid off tenfold. We are rarely at the doctor, which is awesome. So I am so passionate about sharing what has changed our lives and the transformation that I've seen through sharing in other people's lives. Really, it's selfish and silly to keep it to myself, because everybody deserves to have this.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I guess I didn't realize you had a home birth. So that's super cool. I'm always envious for people that have that, and not going to happen to me because I'm done having babies. But so that's awesome. Well, as we get started here, of course I have to put this disclaimer out. I am not a doctor. I am not here to diagnose, treat, or cure any of your illnesses. This information shared in this talk is for educational purposes only. So please seek out appropriate medical attention when necessary, but just know, you are the advocate for your family and for your child that doesn't have a voice at this point if you are pregnant. So research and dive into everything that we're going to be talking about and make the best decision for your family. So let's talk about, pregnancy and childbirth. Kristen, if you want to share a little bit about this time of a mom's life.
Yes, and I realized that in my introduction, I didn't share anything about how I came to be a childbirth educator. So I said that I was a teacher in the beginning, and then when my oldest was born, I just fell in love with birth and babies, and so I became a doula, which was great in theory. However, my son he nursed around the clock. He was definitely like, a mama's boy, and he wanted to nurse all the time and just be with me. So having an on-call job did not work at all. My son would not take a bottle. So I was like, I really, really want to be involved in birth work. How can I do this and help my family, but not abandon my family and not have it be a burden on them? So I researched childbirth education, and I was all set to actually just teach privately and design my own curriculum. I was going to pull things that I knew from my own birth and the pregnancy care that I received and my husband's background with chiropractic care. And I stumbled across, when I was pregnant with my second, birth boot camp. My midwife, who was different than the one with my first because we had moved, she had said, hey, I don't know if you're interested in taking a class. Here are the ones I recommend. We looked into birth boot camp, and all of the modules of the series were everything that spoke to us: chiropractic and nutrition and midwives and all of those things, and natural pain management, and you going to holistic remedies first. So I dove right in, and my husband and I took my second child, who was only 4 months at the time. We took the train down to Texas, where their headquarters are. I did an intensive 3-week live certification, but I had also done about 6 months prereq work in order to be qualified to get certified. So then I came back, and I've been teaching classes with Birth Boot Camp since May 2014. So I wanted to throw that in there so I have a little bit more credibility talking about pregnancy and childbirth.
Yeah.
So being pregnant and expecting a baby is the highlight of many women's lives. They look forward to it. When they get married, people start asking those questions right away. How soon are you going to have a baby? And it's often a time of rejoicing and planning, but it's also a time when conventional remedies and therapies for common occurrences may not be your best choice. Complications and side effects to the unborn baby make looking into natural products a priority, because these things are not tested. And oftentimes I've learned in my work with birth and, seeing moms of all walks, cesarean, maybe they're coming to me to take my classes because they don't want to have a cesarean, or maybe they just want to know what medical things, are safe and what things they should avoid. And we don't know what the side effects are of things often until it's too late. We hear with any medical thing that's out there, there's a drug or a product, and then we hear a year later, if you or your loved one have been exposed to or taken this, and then what do we do? It's already too late. We've already ingested that. Our child has already been a part of that. and then we're working to change it. So we need to make these things a priority. Even things as simple as, what will you do when morning sickness is more than just an annoyance? How will you keep your immune system strong? How will you shop for products when you're looking for yourself? Because there's a whole line of, there's whole lines of products dedicated to pregnant women that aren't much different than the conventional products, but they're labeled differently. Same thing with baby care. What about when you can't get a good night's sleep or you need to relax? Managing general discomforts in pregnancy as the body changes. This is also a time when most soon-to-be moms take a look at the range of chemicals used in the home and search for natural options for cleaners and, get rid of air fresheners and things like that. Maybe they switch to an all-natural laundry detergent. Then there are the emotional highs and lows, stress over the anticipation of labor and delivery, and then, of course, how to be a good mom. All the emotions that come with the transition from pregnancy to actually having this baby in our arms and how to take care of them. As a childbirth educator, a lot of my clients that I work with, they just want to know, in addition to labor support, which is what I offer, but in addition to that, they want to know what to get, where to buy it. They want to focus on reading pregnancy births and parenting books and planning their birth experience and watching birth videos rather than research 17 different stretch mark lotions or 8 different supplements to support their baby's digestive system. So that's where I come in, because if Robyn and I can point you in the direction and tell you the products that are safe and what to use them for and how to use them, that is less time spent, researching other things that are just going to seem like a dead end road.
Oh, right. And Kristen, you agree, it is a stressful time, but if we can just know there's a one-stop shop that we don't have to stress about. And that was really, really important for me as I started researching the chemicals and the things that were in my home and the companies that I wanted to use. So yeah. And even before we get to, all these solutions that we're going to bring to you guys, we really need to focus on, why is this really important? And our medical industry is really, really good at sick care, but not so good at health care. And I totally believe that there's a time and a place for medicine. I'm not anti-medical, and thank God doctors are dedicating, their lives to learning modern medicine and all of that too. But traditionally, they only get about 4 hours of training in nutrition and, in their 12 years of school. And, even from my nursing career, I did one course in nutrition. We're just not taught in the medical model the natural approaches to health. And we are just trained in that sick care. So when you're going to your pediatrician, when you're going to your doctor and you're asking, hey, what can I do things naturally, just know they're not going to have answers for you, or most of them won't. I should say not all, but most of them won't. And it does become your responsibility to look into that. So again, they learn how to diagnose and treat symptoms and prescribe medicines to treat them. That's it. But if you look at today and the statistics that are going on, it's really scary. Almost 1 in 4 women are on an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety medication. And they're prescribing these during pregnancy too. And there was a time and a place for meds, no doubt, but there is usually no plan to get off of these meds. And so it's always about managing the problem, right? When you get a thyroid problem, what do? They're going to manage your thyroid disease. When you have high blood pressure, they're going to manage your hypertension. And it's really come to pregnancy is almost looked at like a abnormal process. Let's just manage this pregnancy, as opposed to looking at the way the body was created to do this. So again, when we're looking at those stats, 1/4 of our women are walking around medicated, emotionless, numbed to a varying degree by all these medications. And they're not able to be the best mom that they need to be during their pregnancy, or even through, raising their kids. So learning some of these coping techniques and plan an out strategy, or what I like to call an offensive, strategy, and be on the offense instead of the defense. Another big issue, as you might agree, is antibiotics. For pregnant moms, infants, and pretty much everyone else, Most people will say that they are being overprescribed. I just took my niece a couple weeks ago into the ER because she had really high fevers and we were trying to figure out what's going on. They diagnosed her that it was probably viral, but what did they do? They prescribed antibiotics. Well, everybody knows that antibiotics are not going to help in a viral situation anyways, but everybody's doing that. So then, the antibiotics, they kill a majority of our good bacteria that we need to survive. And, they kill bad as well. But this can lead to poor gut health, which in turn affects our moods, our immune system, and it also creates those antibiotic resistant bugs like MRSA. Those bugs get stronger while your ability to fight them gets weaker. And then you look at fertility stats. Fertility issues are on the rise. You see fertility clinics popping up all over, yes or yes. And miscarriages are also on the rise. I myself had a miscarriage. And again, I was always looking at, yes, I feel like God has a plan and those things might have, not just had to happen the way they did. But a part of me just has to think, gosh, is there something going on that I could have prevented this? And here's another really scary statistic. 100,000 people die a year from taking their properly prescribed, I'll say that again, their properly prescribed medications. And this isn't overdose, this isn't misuse. So it is important to do what we can to find total wellness so we don't become one of those statistics. And again, I'm not saying you should ignore your doctor and never take medication again. What I'm saying is that you need to be your own health advocate. We have a world of, at our fingertips for all of this research. So don't be afraid to do some of your own research and make an informed decision on what, is important for you and what you want for your baby and your family. Because we get one, right? We get one baby. Well, you might have multiple, but you have that one baby's life. You have your one life, and you have your one family's life. So it's really important to take these things seriously. And let's start paying a little bit more attention to not only what goes in our body, but also what we use on it and around our families. So I don't know if you guys ever saw this as well, some of these scary statistics that were out there. And this is the one thing that I realized what was going on with my son is he was toxic. I had no idea that toxins were playing a role into affecting his immune system. And so on the average, when I started looking at this, the statistics show us that on average, an adult is exposed to more than 700,000 different toxic chemicals on a daily basis. And toxic chemicals are found in everything, right? I mean, they're in our food, they're in our water, they're in our air that we breathe, the clothing that we wear, the floor, the carpet we walk on, the plastics that we drink, and they're everywhere. But by eliminating unsafe products like your shampoos, conditioners, lotions, air fresheners, by eliminating some of these things, research does show you can decrease a major load on your body. So we had my son tested, and he came up with crazy amounts of flame retardants, all these different chemicals, heavy metals, mercury, lead, all of these things at 3 years old. And so when we look at that, where is this coming from? Well, it's coming from mom. It's coming from everything I did, because we know now that these chemicals are being passed. And we can do something about it. Like, there was a study that I looked into, and the study showed that just by removing toxic chemicals in your life, in your food, in your air, that body burden, those test results actually came down to 50% less in just 3 days. So we know that this can make a huge impact. You guys, I was a wallflower junkie, Yankee Candle junkie, Victoria's Secret spray, perfume. I mean, you name it, I loved all things fragrance. But when I learned the dangers of that nasty word fragrance, and my son was highly allergic to that, I freaked out. I had no idea. And I was angry. I was angry that I didn't know this information. The Environmental Working Group, they posted the results of a recent study that found 287 toxic chemicals, pollutants, and pesticides in newborns' umbilical cord blood. So this just shows you that mom does absolutely affect her unborn child, that our babies are being born toxic. And look at the stats of all the childhood diseases and illnesses that are out there. I mean, we're told, right, during pregnancy to avoid tuna. Why do they tell us to avoid tuna? Because of the mercury. But pay very close attention to what is recommended during your pregnancy for your children when they are first hours born of life and even through their entire life. Mercury and these heavy metals are a big, big issue. So again, you have to be that advocate for your baby and do and make the decisions that are right for you, despite maybe what goes against your doctors. Here's the thing, you guys, you hire your doctors. If you don't believe or if they're not on line with the philosophy that you want to live for your family, you fire them. You pay them, right? So fire them. Find a holistic practitioner that is going to support your goals for your family. And as I mentioned before, some of these chemicals are known to cause cancer. And as an oncology nurse, every oncologist I know, I was always taught that, the American Cancer Society says that 90 to 95% of cancer is caused by environmental factors and lifestyle. You guys, this means that only 5 to 10% of cancer is genetic. And so cancer is mostly preventable, is what those statistics show us. And if you've heard of the MTHFR gene, a lot of people are doing the genetic testing now, and so a lot of those mailing testings to see what their genetic exposures are to preventable diseases. If you have the MTHFR gene, this gene just tells us that we are going to be, those people that have it, and my son has this, and I have this, that they're going to be more sensitive to their environment because they are not able to get rid of the toxins like a person that doesn't have that gene. So how great would it be if, our doctors started this as a pre-screening to your newborn blood panels, instead of just the PKU test? How about screen for things that, are going to be making a big impact? And before they start filling them full of toxic chemicals with all these vaccinations, make them that part of the decision making, that those children that have that gene are not going to be able to handle the toxicities that they're exposed to as well as somebody else. So if you've never heard of the MTHFR gene, I encourage you to just Google that. We could literally do a whole class on just that.
Definitely.
So I'm going to challenge you guys, and I think, Kristen, you too have the MTHFR gene, right?
I do, and I don't know if my girls do, but we found out when my oldest was having, all these issues, and I had barely heard of the MTHFR, the gene mutation and some of the symptoms that it could cause, and things kind of started lining up. So I thought, I wonder, if this is the root of some of our problems. So fast forward, we did testing, and I had no idea, why this was a big deal. But now I'm even more adamant, especially with him because he is so sensitive. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even like him to walk down the aisle, the laundry detergent aisle at a store, because he can't excrete those toxins as easy as other people can. So that is something that I am, I'm very, very careful. I mean, I do it for all the children, but I'm thankful that window was open because it just heightens my awareness to be.
And I believe, for sure. And I believe that that was one of the reasons too that my son expressed his symptoms where my girls didn't. So I'm going to challenge you guys to, looking at your homes, because this is one of the biggest impacts you can make is greening your home. And you can download this Think Dirty app. Now, I just heard that they were bought out by Procter & Gamble, which makes me want to vomit. But so it might turn into just a sales thing going on here, but it's a resource that we have. There's a Think Dirty app, and there's the Environmental Working Group's Healthy Living app. So if you already have it, awesome, you already know what I'm talking about. But this app can scan products to see how safe the ingredients are. So a score of 4 to 7 means ingredients have moderate or negative long-term health effects. And scores 8 to 10, that would be the red, means that they have serious long-term health impacts. So when you go, get off this call, scan some of your all-purpose cleaners, scan your laundry detergent. My guess is that if they are not a green product, hey, you know what? Even if they are a green product, I used to carry, the Myers brand. And when I scanned these things, it was supposed to be non-toxic. They came up as a 10, which really annoyed me and it was irritating. So just because it says organic and fragrance free, you still have to look into these ingredients on the label. But my guess is that you're going to find that they're going to be scanning an 8 to 10. Most detergents contain sodium lauryl sulfate, a foaming agent that has been linked to not only just irritation of the skin and eyes, but organ toxicity, developmental and reproductive toxicity, neurotoxicity, so that's affecting brain function, endocrine disruption, so it's affecting all of the hormone pathways, and biochemical or cellular changes, and even mutations and cancer. So most people don't feel, deathly ill immediately after they use their laundry soap, but oftentimes low energy, weight gain, headaches can be effects of toxic chemicals built up in your body. So, just making those choices to ditch the chemicals and start using your oils is going to be, the best option. And the absolute easiest step to take to start eliminating those, like I was saying, is green your home, get rid of those chemical products, and get a bottle of Thieves Cleaner in your life, because it's highly concentrated. It's all plant-based. It's got essential oils in there that are known to help support the immune system. Not only is it non-toxic, but it's going to give you a health benefit. But one bottle, I always add this to my Essential Rewards order. One bottle will give you, you can make a bunch of cleaners, all, because it's concentrated, you can make a ton of bottles, and the cost per bottle will end up being less than $1.50. And again, it's plant-based, completely safe and effective. So this was the first thing I ordered, again, when I got my starter kit that we're going to be talking about today. I threw out every single cleaner I had, and now I just use this. I use it on my floors, I use it on my windows, bathroom, kids' toys, everything. So when I got my kit, I had aspirations to be this big DIYer, and I was going to make all these things and make all my products. And I quickly realized ain't nobody got time for that. So thankfully, Young Living sells everything I could possibly need from personal care products to household products. So instead of making my own laundry detergent and soaps and all of these things, and I just log into my account. I don't even have to go to the store anymore. And I've switched them all to be put on my Essential Rewards program. And I know that it's completely safe and effective. And another thing that's really cool is that all Young Living products are infused with essential oils. So they are an essential oil company. They've been around for 25 years, but just know that they are a wellness company. And again, Kristin's going to talk to us about, why we chose this as the best option for our families.
Yes. And I think I read somewhere that the one bottle of Thieves Cleaner, the small bottle, if you use it as an all-purpose cleaner only, the one bottle will make 40 bottles of cleaner, 16-ounce bottles. And I know people use it, they'll change up the concentration, or I use it for a stain stick, but it's nice because you can use it, like you said, for every single thing. So, okay, so we're going to talk about why quality matters. So, excuse me. So we're going to dive into talking about the actual oils. First, we must start off by talking about the quality. Not all oils are created equal. As we know, with everything, food, products, even clothing, the quality matters. As moms, we are the gatekeepers of our home, and we all want the very best for our kids. That means we want high quality products that are safe and effective. Some of the plant-based things that are out there, like I don't even know how they sell because they don't work. Like when I was looking into makeup and stuff, I get some of this that was like all natural, and I'm like, this does not even work. Like it doesn't work like normal makeup. So when we're looking at the standards and the products of what we want to use, I'm going to talk about Young Living's quality standards for those of you who don't know about them. So Young Living has a seed to seal guarantee and promise. The company abides by very strict guidelines to fulfill this promise to us. They are very transparent. Young Living owns its own farms, which no other major company does. It has partner farms that have to abide by the same standards. Young Living picks the absolute best seeds from strong, thriving plants. Young Living, this is something that I thought was super cool. They hand weed and they use their own oils on plants for pest control to avoid harmful chemicals. So while they are growing and they have huge farms, they still are not using harmful chemicals for pest control. Young Living, they harvest different plants at peak times because it gives them the most, the most plentiful oils. They distill on site without chemicals. You can actually go to the farms and see this. Young Living tests every batch multiple times throughout the process with state-of-the-art equipment. And if you don't have to be a member, you can go to the Young Living farm and, you don't have to be building a Young Living business. You can go to the Young Living farm and you can ask, you can watch the distillation, you can see the fields. They want that transparency because they know that their product users are really searching for that. All of these factors make a huge difference in quality and effectiveness. If a batch of oil does not meet the Young Living standards for any reason, it doesn't get bottled up to distribute. Young Living would rather have something go out of stock than let an inferior product slip through to us. It's rare to find a company with such high standards.
Yeah.
And it is stressful, or not stressful, but it sometimes is inconvenient when things are out of stock that we love. But knowing that, oh, well, something must have happened. It wasn't perfect quality, or everybody's buying that right now, makes me feel better as a product user.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. So then, Kristin's going to talk about how do we use these things?
Yes. So when we, since everyone here, some might be longtime users, but it's always good to learn. But a lot of people on this, I assume, are relatively new to essential oils. So we're going to talk about how they can be used. When I first started using oils, I knew I was very careful about topical application and basically put everything in the diffuser. Fast forward, that has changed drastically, but there are 3 ways to use essential oils. You can use some oils aromatically, some topically, and some can even be taken internally. There are 3 ways that, with these 3 ways that you can use oils. On Young Living, you'll notice that some bottles are white and some bottles have a solid color label. The solid color labels, they have an aromatic and topical directions on them, which means you can put them in your hands and smell them, you can put them in the diffuser, or you can apply them to the skin. The labels that are white are from the Vitality line, and they have dietary instructions on the label. The reason that the labeling changed within the last, I'm not sure, Robyn, when they had to change the labels.
I think it was 2 years now.
Okay, that's what I was around there. The FDA, they don't regulate oils and supplements, which is why you can find oils that are of terrible quality for you at, Walgreens, Walmart, Target. The FDA doesn't regulate them. So in order for Young Living to recommend them as a supplement, they had to change the labeling, and they call it their line of Vitality oils so that those can be ingested as a supplement. Now, when we talk about usage and safety, safety first, always safety first, whether it's a baby, a pregnant mom, anybody. Please dilute your oils. So there are often instructions of how to dilute. If you follow Robyn or I on social media, or if you're already part of on our team, we talk about dilution and different ratios and charts. If you're currently using oils and you're not sure about dilutions, we can get you some safe information on that. And other common sense things. Do not put them in your eyes, ears, follow the directions that are on the labels. Now, with oils and kids, oils are more than safe to use on your kiddos, but dilution is key. People will research, they won't think to research the side effects of an antibiotic for, let's say, a sickness that they don't know if it's viral or bacterial, but they'll spend hours researching, if lavender is safe to apply on your kids.
Right.
Which is kind of silly when you understand what's going on, but we want it to be safe. So to dilute the oils, you're going to use a carrier oil. So this allows for slower absorption to a more delicate system of babies and kids. Now for carrier oils, Young Living has their own. It's called the V6, and it's a carrier oil that you can use. It's a combination of oils, but oils such as olive oil, coconut oil, almond oil, grapeseed oil will work just as well, and they're safe for all ages. One concern there with carrier oils is if kids have a nut allergy, obviously you'd want to make sure you use an oil that's safe for them to be applied to their skin. Now for conservative dilution ratios for kids, what's usually recommended is 1 drop of essential oil into 1 to 2 teaspoons of V6 or carrier oil of choice for kids ages 2 to 5, and then 1 drop of essential oil into a tablespoon of carrier oil of choice for babies under 2 years old. But you can find out what works best for you, how your kids best responds, and go from there. Or you can use some of the blends that are pre-diluted and ready to go for kids. Young Living is known as an essential oil company. In fact, they are actually the pioneers of essential oils, but they are, as Robyn said, they are a wellness company with over 700 products. So what you see pictured, these are just a few of our favorites that are made specifically for kids. We told you that you would need a pen and a paper to make your wish list, didn't we? So these are some good ones. The oil bottles are pre-diluted. They pretty much cover the basic needs of kids. So if you're not familiar with them, definitely look into those.
So as we look at, pregnancy, a lot of people are very nervous to use essential oils, but just, use oils with caution and use common sense. We learn about the 3 most commonly suggested uses, but also the oils to use and why. We'll get into that. But safety is always a concern of pregnant women in the families. But the books, they vary widely on age ranges and the amount of information that is out there. So just know that when you are Googling some information, don't be freaked out. There's a lot of garbage out there that's not true, but there is also some things that you want to make note of. So many books on essential oils, and certainly when I was learning about it through my certification program, they want you to use some of these oils more cautiously. So essential oils for pregnancy, the ones that are safe, everything in the starter kit that we are talking about, there's more than just what's listed here that is absolutely safe, but some of them might be used with caution. And when we're talking about using with caution, we're just talking about maybe diluting, maybe just using them aromatically, those types of things, because there's some even on the cautious list that, man, they come in really handy during pregnancy, but certain times of pregnancy that we need to call those forward. So those are the list of the cautious. And then of course there's ones that are standardly known to be ones that you want to avoid. And again, not all essential oils are safe during pregnancies, but most of them are, and to have those resources at your fingertips to know which ones are. But don't let it scare you. There's never been a fetal death because of an essential oil or anything like that. I mean, you can probably find some research on that, but just know that just have your resources and look up some guidelines, and everything that we're teaching you here is absolutely safe. So most of us that started with Young Living, we started with a premium starter kit. We have over 200 of essential oils in Young Living, but you really only need these 10 to 11 oils to get a good foundation. This is the way that 90% of our members begin their journey. And so for today's class, we're going to focus on some of them in particularly throughout pregnancy. We're going to be talking about some outside of this kit too. But keep in mind that this is being recorded. You can revisit this anytime. And our upcoming 6-week series starting on November 13th, we are going to dive even deeper into each one of these phases of motherhood. And, oh, by the way, the reason people choose this kit is because it's the only thing that's half off on Young Living's website. And it's such an amazing value of $160 for 11 oils, and you get a free diffuser. It also qualifies you to be a wholesale membership with no additional fee, just kind of like a Costco membership. But we like to call it our wellness membership. And after becoming a member, you can get all of these amazing products for 24% off for life. It's awesome. So, all right, let's get started on some of these particulars and get these mamas some tools.
Awesome. Okay, so when we start talking about through the stages of pregnancy, which we're not going to, like Robyn said, dive super deep into because we are planning this awesome 6-week series. But first trimester looks a lot like this picture. Lots of some discomfort, nausea. Not everything about pregnancy is wonderful. My first pregnancy, I was only a little bit tired. It was great. With my other 2, I needed all the tools to help me. And we never know until we need it. The beginning can be especially challenging. So at this point, inhaling or diffusing oils like digize, lemon, ginger, peppermint, those can also help with this nausea, with, this upset stomach that we have going on. Aroma ease is another good one. You can add a drop to a glass of water or in a gel capsule. That can be helpful as well. That's a way to take the oils internally. Peppermint can also be diffused or inhaled directly from the bottle. With my third pregnancy, I pretty much kept a bottle of peppermint in my bag or pocket at all times, especially in the beginning, so that I had it, I could just sniff it a little bit, and it really, really helped to support my body. When we get that excited, or we get excited when we have that positive pregnancy test, we're on cloud 9 telling everyone about it, because then it hits all of the occasional normal pregnancy symptoms. So let's talk about what oils we can use to help us along. Now, like I said, for nausea, peppermint is good. When I talked about diet, I wanted to dive a little bit more into that. I use this oil in the early months to help as well with nausea. Peppermint oil can help with occasional low bile production, nausea, heartburn, and other digestive complaints. So it's very good. Comes in the kit, easy. 1 drop well diluted or placed in a diffuser is all that you need, because they are very potent. Oftentimes, nausea can be tied to a sluggish liver, and it can be overwhelmed with processing all the pregnancy hormones. So this is when some of the citrus oils applied to our body or diffusers can really help to support us. Lemon or grapefruit oils diluted or put on the liver or the feet are a great way to promote support with digestion. Another little tidbit that is not technically oil related, but is great for that first trimester, taking the edge off, is I always recommend to my clients 50 milligrams of vitamin B6 with each meal. The B vitamins are great for helping support the digestive system and warding off nausea. You can also supplement with magnesium, fermented cod liver oil. Those are really good. For fatigue, citrus oils like lemon, grapefruit, and also peppermint can be invigorating to help get you through those slumps of feeling tired. If you aren't at a stage where you can take a nap. You could also diffuse some citrus in the morning or the mid-afternoon. And another thing that is often unfortunate in pregnancy is constipation. And while these oils can help your digestion, also boosting your magnesium intake can also help to support that occasional constipation that we come across in pregnancy.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I love about Young Living, is because they have all of those items for us. Yes. And I don't have to sit there and examine their labels and all of that. Well, one, because I've already done it, but knowing their seed to seal promise, it's awesome. So yes, those are amazing tips. And again, gosh, I wish I knew this when I was, birthing my 20-year-old. But yeah, let's talk about lavender and frankincense.
Yes. I feel I'm still learning so much, and I'm like, if we have another baby, I'm like, oh, I have all this new information to learn to pour into that pregnancy, and to pour into my clients and my students. So when we talk about, lavender and frankincense are also in the premium starter kit. These are amazing oils for healthy skin support, in particular with pregnancy, that the growing belly, it can help with that pre-pregnancy skin, itching, irritation, brown spots, pigmentation changes. Frankincense and lavender work well. Lemon can sometimes also help to support the brown spots and the pigmentation. A word of caution with any of the citrus oils: when you apply them topically, they are photosensitive, which means that they increase the sun sensitivity. So you want to dilute them or keep them in areas that aren't applied or aren't exposed to the sun. I often recommend using castor oil or jojoba oil as a carrier oil with these, with lavender, frankincense, because those oils, they also help to support healthy skin pigmentation on their own. I read somewhere that apple cider vinegar and onion juice can also support pregnancy skin, but I can't even imagine how bad that would smell, so I am not going that route.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and who would want to make up that concoction? I'm not sure. For acne, sometimes our hormones are going crazy, our skin is just kind of feeling a little bit haywire. Frankincense is the best for that. You can dilute it in witch hazel or jojoba oil. You can apply it topically. And as our belly grows, we also might start to feel minor aches and pains, sore back, tension in our necks. Some great oils for supporting us with our sore muscles are peppermint, copaiba, and frankincense. And those are all part of the starter kit, which is amazing. and you can apply those well diluted and directly to the muscles. Valor is a very famous blend of Young Living, and it's known as the chiropractor in the bottle. And this can work really well on supporting our skeletal alignment during pregnancy and also supporting those discomforts. I still use it all the time. We use it to support emotions and wellness, but I am still nursing my 17-month-old. And, you know, when you're nursing, you're often hunched over, you fall asleep in weird positions. And I use this a lot of time along with the other oils, frankincense and copaiba and peppermint, to support. My husband calls it nursing neck or nursing back because I'm always like hunched over holding. But it really works well to ease those discomforts.
Yeah. Keep in mind too, let's be real, like frankincense is my go-to. So I can, keep my youthful look. I use this every day on my face. Yep. So even though we're talking about pregnancy and going through these things, just know you can use these for yourself any time of your life. So that's what's awesome about this.
Yep. Now, when we talk about second trimester, we've often come out of the nausea stage, but now sometimes it's hard to get restful sleep. And finding a restful sleeping position when your belly is growing is not always easy. Sometimes our brains just can't seem to turn off for the night, making, the much needed sleep even more elusive. So these oils that are on here, lavender and cedarwood, and there's a Tranquil, it's a pre-diluted blend that's already created for us by Young Living. These are great. They're very grounding. And of course, they can't promise the perfect sleeping position. They are very calming, and they can help to signal our bodies that we need to rest. And again, these aren't just for pregnancy. I use these now, as a mom of 3, I'm up late, I'm up early, I'm nursing. And sometimes, I'm busy running a household for a family of 5, and my mind can't just shut off. So I use these because I don't want to rely on, any sleep medication or anything like that. So these are my go-tos as well to help me relax, get a good night's sleep, and wake up feeling refreshed. And, with pregnancy, fatigue is a part of it. Our body is changing and going through so much. It does need rest. So the key is sleep. You can drink lots of fluids. Dehydration can often be a cause of major fatigue. And especially if you're nursing, drinking broths, teas, lemonades, coconut water, all those things can help us feel hydrated. You can add the vitality oils to water to change it up if you're sick of plain water. And those can help us, it supports our body, can help us to feel more alert and focused. And so you can use them for a lot of different uses.
Yeah, for sure. And Tranquil is even good during the day, even for just that occasional anxiousness too. So I use all of these as well on a daily basis. So when we thought we'd give you guys something fun, because when we talk about emotions during pregnancy, there's a really cool way to support them and get rid of your toxic perfumes. Gosh, if you could just please get rid of your toxic perfumes and make your own with these essential oils, it's gonna help you not only emotionally, but you're gonna smell nice too. So whether it's your first, second, fifth, eighth, whatever, we experience a lot of different emotions: fear, anxiety, worry, love, joy, and so many other things. Breathing in the essential oils can have a huge effect and a safe way to really help change those unwanted emotions. And while we're not saying that these emotions are wrong, these are not negative by any means. We can experience those, but you guys, stress can affect our baby. Stress can affect the way that we are, living our daily lives. It's going to affect our health. So if we can have tools to help support these negative emotions into a positive, uplifting way, then heck, why not? So the other huge benefit to diffusing is that you can also throw out all those air fresheners and candles as well. So besides diffusing, to aid, you can make this perfume. So this is how you make it. You would just mix following ingredients in a glass spray bottle. And in fact, Kristen and I, on November 3rd down in Peoria, we are holding a DIY perfume class. So if you ever want a DIY perfume class, let us come to you, and we love those classes. So you just mix the following ingredients together in a glass spray bottle. You're going to take 4 ounces of 4-ounce glass spray bottle. Take 4 ounces of 80 to 100 proof vodka or witch hazel to emulsify the essential oils, and 40 to 60 drops of your favorite essential oil combination, and shake that well. Most vodkas are 80 proof, but if you can find the 100 proof, that's going to be just a higher quality and last a little bit longer. And here's where you want to get your note pens out, because we can always post these into the group too. But here are some really cool combinations or oils to help in certain situations. So fear, valor, number one, love valor for fear. Bergamot, geranium, and present time. To combat those like scary stories that we hear, you know, I don't know what is wrong with people, but the minute that you get pregnant, all of a sudden they like, oh my gosh, my friend just, and this happened. And you're like, why are you telling me that right now? But so that can help with just getting, you know, so that you don't have fear take over. The occasional stress, of course, your lavender, stress away, which I wish came in a gallon, frankincense, peace and calming, and bergamot. Occasional anxiety, so you've got lavender, lemon, copaiba is also a great one, orange, and occasional sadness. So we know that we might be dealing with some heartbreak during this time. Some people will have miscarriages. Some people, you know, will have bad news of certain things, but just know that, you know, don't go on a medication if you can avoid it. Use things like joy. Joy is so amazing as a perfume, and it brings, you know, just love to your heart, and it can help in any situation. Orange is another one of my favorites. And then worry is bergamot. So again, just watch some of these oils that can be your citrus oils. Bergamot does come from, it looks like an orange, so that's considered a citrus oil, and just know that, just keep away from those. Don't put them on your skin if you're going to be exposed to the sun. But during pregnancy, just know that your sense of smell may be totally different than before. So take off the cap of a few oils, smell them before you put them in your diffuser or create your perfume, and diffuse the ones that you love smelling, and in order to, you know, really help your spirit. So some people might have loved lavender in their first trimester. They want to vomit every time they smell lavender. But just know, keep trying those, because second trimester, third trimester, your smells can change. So Kristen, I know this is one of your favorite oils. You want to tell us about Gentle Baby?
Yes, this is one of my favorite oils, and this is going to be one of our giveaways. So this oil, Gentle Baby, is it's just such a great blend, but it's not overpowering at all. You know, if moms are wanting to use something on their newborns or something for themselves, but they're, you know, like, I don't want, if like Robyn said, when your sense of smell is so heightened, this is just it's a very gentle scent. So you can use this so many different ways. Some of my favorites are, you can combine it with coconut oil and you can rub on mommy's chest before nursing. We know, and I'm not sure how many of you know, that, you know, our sense of smell is something that is like, it's so intricately connected with bonding and memory. That's why, you know, we smell chocolate chip cookies and we are taken back to our childhood or our grandma's house or things like that. So this can be really just a great support for the bonding experience, especially in those like first, you know, with the infant days and things like that. My kids, they love Gentle Baby when we diffuse it. And I really think that it's because I used it so much when they were little, or when their siblings were little, that it holds a special place in their heart. So you can also combine it with coconut oil. You can rub it on your tummy to promote healthy skin. You can use that, you know, during pregnancy and postpartum. You can put one drop in your hands and rub together and just inhale. You can make your own body lotion. You can use coconut oil and then put 8 to 10 drops of Gentle Baby. You can diffuse it at bedtime for kids of all ages. Even I love it diffused at bedtime. If you're having a hospital birth, you can put it in your diffuser to calm emotions during birth. If you don't want to bring a diffuser, you can just add a couple drops to a cotton ball, keep them in a Ziploc bag, and then just smell that as needed.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love that blend. And you guys, you know, even if somebody is not pregnant, or say you've already gone through this, and these are great gifts for showers as well. So when it boils down to it, just really know your body, listen to your body, and just know what's going to work best for you. And so our next couple topics I want to go over is just talking about, you know, how you know, feel right before that, before the D-Day comes. You can start anytime. You don't have to start earlier. I mean, earlier the better, but wherever you're at with these things I'm going to talk about, you can start at any time. So let's talk about alignment and subluxation. So as you know, both of our husbands are chiropractors, and our spinal health is of utmost importance. Our brain controls all healing and function, and our spinal cord protects that. So your body goes through so many changes while you're pregnant, and your growing baby is pushing on all kinds of organs. Your round ligaments stretch and they thicken, and your hormones are causing your cartilage to loosen up as it prepares for your body to stretch and open during the delivery, right? That's a normal process. And although aches and pains and all of those might be described as normal, they are more accurately described as common. I would say there's many of our symptoms are not normal. They're just so common that we think they're normal. So you can help avoid discomfort by taking care of yourself and listening to your body so you can stay physically comfortable all the way through to delivery. So here are some things we talk about or we use during or recommend during pregnancy to help with spinal alignment and to avoid subluxation. So we talked about Valor, rubbing Valor essential oil daily on your hips. It comes in a convenient roll-on bottle as well. This one doesn't come in the starter kit, but it's a must-have for pregnancy for sure. You can rub it along the spine. Again, it's known as that chiropractor in a bottle. And my husband always jokes, oh, great, you don't need me anymore. Well, no, we do need our chiropractors very much so. So weekly chiropractic visits is key. And again, find a chiropractor that knows how to adjust pregnant women. Find a chiropractor that is certified in pediatric chiropractic. And even better, find a chiropractor that is certified in what we call the Webster technique. So in case your baby is in a breech position, there's chiropractors that can help instead of going under a medicated, very scary procedure to try to turn that baby. The baby is in that position for a reason. It's because your body is not aligned, and go to a chiropractor to help you out in that situation instead of forcing that baby to go a way that it doesn't want to go. It can't go that way. So sleeping with a wedge pillow, of course, pregnancy pillow between your knees and under your belly, and these things are amazing, even your whole entire life, but especially postpartum. So let's talk about nutrition. When you are pregnant, you are eating for two. We've heard that, right? This is no surprise. But we want to go for quality and not quantity when we're choosing our food and our supplements. And did you know that if you're at a healthy weight, so say you're already healthy before pregnancy, you're at a healthy weight, you don't need additional calories in your first trimester. You just don't. In your second trimester, you only need 340 extra calories. And by your third trimester, you only need 450 extra calories. So I'm not talking about drinking 3 Coca-Colas to get you there. Find these quality foods and get the quality foods that are going to help you. So because during pregnancy your body is pulling vitamins and minerals from you to give to your baby, it is super important that you replenish these vitamins and minerals in your body through food and our supplements. So whole food supplements, there's nothing synthetic in it. Young Living carries all whole food supplements. They are the perfect way to really help support you. Ningxia Red is not only important during pregnancy and safe during pregnancy, it's good for entire families' health. My kids take this every single day as their multivitamin. I take it every single day. But this helps maintain our healthy blood glucose levels. It provides extra nutrients your body needs and helps keep those energy levels up because hello, we need energy as we're trying to grow another human. Did you know, though, that morning sickness can happen because of irregular blood sugar levels and not enough B vitamins or nutrients? So don't skip out on your Ningxia Red. And then you've got probiotics. So the Life 9 probiotics are really high potency. They combine 17 billion live cultures from 9 beneficial bacteria strains to promote, obviously, supporting that digestive health. So supporting digestive health not only supports your gut health, but it also helps support your brain. And again, your immune system. We need that immune system strong. I'm going to encourage everybody, if they are thinking about getting a flu shot during pregnancy, please research this before you make a decision that you may regret. That's all I'm going to say about that. Young Living has its dietary line of oils called the Vitality line, and ingesting a drop or two of thieves or lemon right in your Ningxia Red can have an amazing, amazing support for your immune system. And say you do get sick during your pregnancy. Well, yes, we have to make sure that we're talking to our midwives and our chiropractors or your natural practitioners to make sure that there's nothing else serious going on. just know that you can do things more naturally to help support. Your body was created to heal. And so we know that just giving the body what it needs, taking away what it doesn't, amazing things can happen. So whatever supplements your doctor, midwife, or chiropractor are suggesting to you, just again, make sure that they're whole food supplements. And I love the, in your prenatal. So if you have prenatals, you're going to want to check this right away. So if you have prenatals that are not, through, Young Living doesn't have a prenatal, but they have a really great Super B vitamin, you're going to want to make sure that you're not taking folic acid and that you're taking folate instead. This is really important, especially for those people that have the MTHFR gene. Make sure you research this and why it's important to avoid folic acid and only take folate. So that's what I really like about the Super B vitamins. You can use those as a replacement because they do have the right methyl tetrahydrofolate, not the folic acid in them. So again, you just feel more empowered to make your own health choices and not just taking the free supplements that your prenatal doc might give you. Research these things because a lot of times they're not researching it. They're just getting free products from some company and then they're just giving them to you. So if you plan to breastfeed and are nervous about milk production, just use peppermint toward the end of the month or the end of your pregnancy, just a little bit more cautiously, because sometimes peppermint can decrease your milk supply. And we're going to be giving you all these tips in our 6-week series on different things to help milk supply. But just know that we're here to support you guys wherever you're at. And getting key nutrition, your daily support, is another one of those biggest impacts that you can have. So, Kristen, I know this is a really near and dear topic to you of making those switch to more safe products. We want to share some of these things?
Yes. So when we think about making the switch, sometimes it can seem really overwhelming, but Young Living makes it so easy because you can sub most things for their version and you know that it's a good product. So we've discussed how important what goes in your body is, but now let's talk about what you put on your body and what you expose your body to in your own home. A lot of times we think our own home is safe, and new research is showing that sometimes the indoor air is more toxic than the outdoor air because of all of the chemicals and things that, it's just like a concoction of stuff in your house that you're breathing or ingesting. Or I like to be barefoot, so I'm walking, I would be intaking that in my body. And Young Living, they make it so easy, as you can see in the picture here, to just swap out harmful products for clean, safe, and effective ones. So I would say the first things would be, and like Robyn said, we're going to dive deeper into our 6-week series, but start with your skincare. Many skincare and makeup products contain harmful ingredients that can affect our reproductive system, human development, organs, and much more. Some even contain carcinogens that are linked to cancer. And these harmful chemicals get absorbed into your skin as you wear them. These harmful ingredients are not found in any Young Living product. You will find no petrochemicals, no talc, no parabens, and especially no phthalates, which is a very, very damaging ingredient in fragrance. And they're very toxic to the reproductive system and can definitely affect development. So Young Living, they have the ART skincare line. They have Savvy Minerals makeup. And we'll talk more about those things as well. But you don't need to compromise, who you are or what you want to look like in order, to make those changes to healthier products. The next thing I would say is very, very important would be to swap out your cleaning products, including laundry detergent, household cleaners, soaps, all of those things. The Young Living has an entire line called Thieves, the Thieves line, and you can swap out every cleaner you own. You can see you can get laundry detergent, hand soap, dishwasher soap, hand purifier, toothpaste, mouthwash, and so much more. The Thieves line is actually formulated with thieves oil in it and natural plant-based ingredients for the safest way to clean your house, your mouth, your clothes, your kids' toys, getting rid of all those germs that the kids bring home. Like we have said multiple times now, the Thieves household cleaner, the one bottle has replaced almost every other bottle under my sink, which is great. Now I only reach for one thing. I don't have to fiddle around and find what I need.
Yeah. For sure. And I use all of these. And actually one of them is on my order this month too. But that was, I believe, the biggest impact when I switched that. And while my third pregnancy was so much different than my first. So when we talk about relaxing, you know, this is one of the most stressful times and scary times sometimes, but it's supposed to be one of the happiest times. But sometimes we have let those things creep in. But just know that you need to take time for yourself. You need to pamper yourself. Because if this is your first pregnancy, as soon as that baby arrives, your whole world is about to get a lot more hectic and busy. And I know you're excited and anxious for your baby to arrive, but trust me, soak in some quiet time, pamper yourself a little, and just take that time. Go see a movie, get a pedicure, maybe with non-toxic stuff, please. Have a date night, take a warm bath with your essential oils. Do something to really enjoy something peaceful and recharging yourself, because when that baby arrives, like I said, it's beautiful, but it's busy. So your oils to maximize those moments of relaxation, you know, are any of them really, but lavender is a go-to, frankincense is a go-to, stress away. And maybe you don't have time to take a bath with lace on your belly and sitting in milk and surrounding yourself like flowers. But just add your essential oils to your bath, and doing this is a total game changer. Simple things like this recipe you can add to your bath and just make a world of difference. Use positive affirmations. You know, I don't know what your belief system is, but I'm Christian. I believe in God, and I believe that, you know, speaking to him on a daily basis can help our stress levels, but using our positive affirmations as well. And, you know, saying things like, I am relaxed. I am letting go of all my worries. I release my concerns for the time being. I am safe. My baby is well. My body is relaxed and I am at peace. My mind is calm. If we start speaking these words, these positive words, it does change the frequency of all of our chemistry, and it's going to be better for both mom and baby. And let's face it, dad too. So when we have 3 weeks and counting, what are some tips that we can do to prepare for that?
So I was super excited to start researching for this class, and there's so much that I want to share. So I'm going to give you guys like a sneak peek, and then we'll be definitely diving a lot deeper into it with our 6 weeks series. So 3 weeks before D-Day. Doctors used to give episiotomies to almost everyone. That just became standard of care. I can't believe that was, as a standard. People just assume that they need to have that. It's a hard pass for me. But now doctors are moving away from that practice because research is showing that it actually causes more trauma and more difficult postpartum healing than it does to benefit. And a lot of times we are told as women, as birthing women, that, well, it'll be easier just to give an episiotomy to suture it back up than to tear. They really instill that fear of tearing, when actually it's just like if you scraped your leg, your body knows how to naturally put the tissue together and heal as well without making a clean cut of an episiotomy. It's the normal way that tissue heals itself. So perineal tissue is obviously a little bit more delicate. So there are some things we can do to support it. Perineal massage is sometimes recommended by midwives. You can massage the perineal skin with this oil blend. You can use geranium and lavender with a little bit of carrier oil. My caution would be, do not overdo it, or the skin can become overstretched, like a rubber band. If you are pulling a rubber band too much, too often, eventually it's going to lose its stretch. This is good if some people want to do perineal massage, some don't. If you choose to, I would recommend making this oil blend because it's beneficial for the skin. But your perineum is meant to stretch on its own during birth, so you don't want to overstretch. So you can just do 8 drops geranium, 5 drops lavender, mix it with a carrier oil, and then you can massage this along your perineum. And Young Living also makes a spray called a Clariderm spray. It's an amazing postpartum healing spray. It really, really supports the perineal tissue. You can start using it a little bit before delivery or before labor if you want to. It's sometimes recommended that about a week before delivery, add 5 drops of fennel to the above recipe and apply it and massage to the perineum. However, most women, if you are focusing on a more natural birth and a more natural pregnancy, you're probably not too concerned with when your delivery is going to be. So you can choose to add the fennel or not, but geranium and lavender are really going to help to support that skin as you prepare for delivery. Now, when we move into it's time, you know, labor is happening. Labor is such a beautiful time, even though it's portrayed very differently in the media. But it can also be filled with so much anxiety and fear. And I truly believe that the reason women are so anxious and afraid is because of the way that the media, you know, portrays labor and birth. You know, we see women screaming and their water breaking in random places, you know, and then they go to the hospital and they're in labor for 57 hours. Like in real life, it doesn't work like that. And labor is hard work. It's very hard work. Obviously, that's why they call it labor. But remember, you were made to do this. And once it's over, you will meet your new baby and forget all about what you've just experienced. As you have learned in the class so far, Young Living's oils have so many uses, and they really have the potential to help ease your body and your mind during this process. So if you think about the oils you have gotten to know so far throughout your pregnancy, you can continue, if you're already an oil user, you continue with the ones that have become your favorites. You know, some you might gravitate towards some a little bit more because they help you feel most positive, empowered, open. You can make a few roll-ons with those during delivery. That makes using your oils very easy and very fast. You can help your partner, or if you have a doula, they can use the oils at this time. Now, we'll dive deeper into this when we talk more about it. We'll give you guys some recipes for that. Gentle Baby is a good one. You know, if you decide to get a bottle of Gentle Baby, or if you win it, you can use it all through pregnancy and, you know, the birth and into supporting your infants as well. Now, when we talk about, so here are some recipes here for labor favorites. So these are just some that other women have talked about, you know, we've kind of put together. These are all different oils that you can use for if you wanted to make roller balls, a calming blend, a focusing blend, you know, a labor blend, tummy, just to put right on there. Courage. If you are only going to go with one, I would say to go with the Courage roller because it's going to support your body so much. And I mean, no matter how prepared we feel, we still need a little bit of courage to, you know, get through labor and feel supported. Now, when we move into, next Robyn is going to share moving into post-labor. And I know we went through that fast and maybe you didn't get to write it down or not, but I promise you there will be more to come in the 6-week series.
Yes, we are going to actually chunk it up and even just take post-labor in an entire class of itself. So, you know, congratulations, you did it at this point, and well, hopefully not during this class, but your day will be coming soon. So now let's look at what you need after delivery. Postpartum time is just as important as our prenatal time, and there's so much that you can do to help your body and mind heal from all the hard work you just did. And in the perfect world of social media, there's such a temptation to feel the need to pop back from birth and, you know, just post your pre-pregnancy jeans and be like right back to it. And there's a lot of pressure to do that. But just know that, you know, celebrate the work that you just did and just take some time to heal and, you know, making sure that you are just taking that, being gentle with yourself. You know, don't beat yourself up thinking that you have to be a rock star and get back in there in 5 days. And while that's great for some people, it's not realistic. Your body just went through something major and you really want to take some time to heal. So all the oils we talked about can help during that time, but postpartum uterine contractions, again, we're going to dive deeper into all of this. Postpartum uterine contractions, that lavender, grab your lavender that's from your starter kit, dilute that, apply it over your uterus, on your ankles, on the bottoms of your feet. If you're having trouble with milk supply, you know, grab that fennel to increase it. You can also use clary sage as well. So just a couple things for post-labor, but just know that, you know, using Gentle Baby is good for anything. So when in doubt, pull your Gentle Baby oil out. It's supposed to be there to help support all of our needs throughout an entire pregnancy. So again, we are going to be giving you all kinds of tools about different cooling, rectal pads, C-section healing, tummy rollers, postpartum belly balms, all of those types of recipes. And maybe we'll give you a sneak peek and post some of those recipes in our event page. But just know that we have lots of resources for you guys that we are going to share of where you can get this information as well. So when we start to wind down here and talk about, everything, basically recapping what we just talked about, I know that we just gave you a fire hose of information, and just know that the best way to get started and how I got started, how Kristen got started, is with a premium starter kit. Just get your own starter kit, get your own membership, add some Ningxia Red to your first order through your Essential Rewards, add a bottle of the Thieves cleaning product to really make the biggest impact of this most critical time of you and your baby's life. So your premium starter kit also comes with that no strings attached membership, like I was saying, and we'll post a link in the group to be able to just go to this link, make sure that you have our link that you go to so that you're tied to our team, and we really want to help support you through this journey. So when you do order a premium starter kit, you become a part of our team, and we will take care of you. We're actually going to send you an amazing welcome kit for new moms and babies if you order within the next 24 hours. And just know that we will be adding you to our closed private Facebook group where we just pour into you with all kinds of informative information and resources. We're going to send you that welcome packet with reference materials, some of our favorite samples, and we get to, again, introduce you to our entire community. We have over 1,500 people on our community and our team, and we are just so passionate about sharing information on giving you guys tools to support you through every area of your life. And we're so excited that you are going to let us be a part of that. So I couldn't thank you enough. So again, mamas don't let mamas join Young Living or reorder without telling them about our most valuable program, Essential Rewards program. It is the one thing many members say they wish they had known about earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about it. I was not told this program before, and I wasted so much money, and I can't believe that I never jumped on this program. So that's why I'm telling you, so you don't miss out. Essential Rewards is a customizable monthly subscription wellness box. We all hear about those monthly boxes, and I get some from several different companies, and they are so much fun. I get so excited to get my monthly wellness box from Young Living. This is the best way to save money while you build your oil arsenal and replace harmful products that you're using in your home, and creating that healthy beauty routine and all things health for your family. You get all the must-haves for your new baby through this way. And when you do sign up for Essential Rewards, they come shipped directly to your home, of course. But here's the perks of the Essential Rewards program. So you get not only your 24% off that you normally get with your membership, but you get an additional 10 to 25% back in ER points. And ER stands for Essential Rewards. Every time you order on ER, you use these points instead of paying for product. So you get free loyalty gifts on months 3, 6, 9, and 12 just for being a member. You get access to discounted kits exclusively for ER members only. Things like Ningxia Red and the Thieves ER kit are two of my favorites. You get free bonus promotional items, free oils, you guys, free products when you order through your Essential Rewards at 100 PV, 190, and it goes on and on from there. You have the ability to join the YL Go program. That is just like our Amazon Prime. So you pay a membership fee just like you would do Prime, and you get free shipping. So the minimum requirement for you to be in this program is 50 PV, which is essentially $50 a month. And let me tell you, I don't think my order's ever been 50. I don't know about you, Kristen.
When I first started, probably, and I didn't really know what I was buying.
Oh, got it. Yeah. And so that's what I did. And how I created my home to be chemical free is I used my Essential Rewards program. I was putting things that I was already buying anyways, our toothpaste, our shampoos, our laundry detergent, my makeup. And instead of buying them at the store, I roll them into my Essential Rewards orders. And I get them, you know, at a much higher discount. And then of course I get lots of freebies along the way. So Essential Rewards, that's what it's all about. Month one, what that would look like is you could always add your Nature Red and your Thieves products to it, maybe some skincare. Your next month, maybe you start adding some of those oils that are on your wish list. And your third month, maybe focusing on more of those supplements and probiotics for your baby and your children and yourself. And just know that we have over 700 products within Young Living. We are dedicated as a wellness company and really changing the way people are viewing and managing their health and their lifestyle. So as we wrap up here, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to be doing a giveaway with some of these fun resources, but we're going to give everybody 24 hours to view this. So it's Tuesday, October 23rd. We will draw announce the winner of our giveaway October 24th at 9 p.m. And if you are catching this on a replay and this is an older video, we probably have a giveaway for you too. Just reach out to us. Again, my name is Robyn Stetzel and Kristen Spangler. We are here to help support you along your journey. I truly believe that there is a reason that you're here today. Whether it was a person that invited you or you found us on there, I believe there was an intentional reason that you're hearing this information. And while it's going to definitely change your life, it has changed mine, it has changed Kristen's life, and it has allowed us to bring freedom, not only financially, but freedom with our health choices to both of our families. And we are so excited to get you guys started and to really link arms to start changing those scary statistics out there, you guys. If we don't pull together and do this, you know, I don't know what my kids' world's going to look like when they start having grandbabies. But anyways, thank you so much for taking time. Kristen, do you want to add anything?
I think you wrapped it up very well. I'm so, you know, for people listening to this, that I haven't already told this to, when Robyn and I were, you know, preparing for this class, we were both like, we want to share this and we want to share that. And there's so much information. So we're really looking forward to the 6-week series so we can really just break all the chunks up and really dive in, because as with me, with my kids are still young, so I'm still fresh in this series or in this season of my life. And I'm so excited, you know, to share this with other moms who are in the same season. And, you know, I had some people that I invited to this class and they're like, well, I'm done having babies, or, you know, that's not my current season of life, but this can benefit everybody. So, you know, if you're on here or if you're listening and you are past the period of having kids, your kids are grown, like you'll have a daughter-in-law or, you know, grandkids that you can pass this information on to, and just really help build their health and support them. And well, since we have this 6-week series coming up and this is a recording, you know, you can share it with anybody who it would benefit. That would be amazing, because it really, there's no point in keeping it to yourself. It can always help somebody have a better experience, you know, maybe with their fertility, maybe with their overall women's health, with their pregnancy, maybe they're struggling with emotions as they transition into motherhood. And Robyn and I, we just have such a passion for sharing and helping. So we would really love to help you help them.
Thank you so much, you guys. And as always, we are blessed that you joined us today, and we look forward to reaching out and just being a partner with you guys in your healthy journey. So thank you guys so much, and have an amazing rest of your day.